As the sun sets on the beautiful, richly historic Larchmont Yacht Club, festivities begin at the centennial celebration of Star Class Racing. Competitors from around the world here to compete, connect, and collaborate on the next century of the Star. Day one, the classics. 27 boats on the water, racing today boats under number 7,300. Andy Ivy spent 5 summers restoring boat 4748. While a labor of love, the better story may be how he came to own the boat.
I was at a Lake George Open, and this young man was having a hard time trying to figure the boat out, and he was like, geez, I don't get these boats. I just want to go windsurfing. And I said, well, I tell you what, I got a windsurfer. If you want to, work a deal, I'd love to buy the boat from you. And sure enough, believe it or not, he traded a windsurfer and delivered the boat to me.
Designed in 1911, 2,000 sailors in 38 countries worldwide, the Star is one of the most exciting, technical, and athletic boats racing today. You don't have to tell that to these avid fans.
It's an exciting boat. It's got a lot of history. There's a lot of top-level sailors in it, but you can compete at any level.
Race 1 today for the Classics, the wind was very light, but it picked up later in the day for Race 2. Overall, a good test in skill.
Some varied conditions today. I sailed in the Classic division, which are fiberglass boats, and the boats for the most part are at least 20 years old. But a good fiberglass boat, a good fast fiberglass boat, can be just as fast today as it was 20 years ago.
Bob Krahulik and Chris Rogers are in the hunt today after a 2-1 finish. Sailing Classics today, they'll be racing Moderns later this week.
So if you're in a new boat, it allows you to concentrate on tactics, wind shifts, and less so much on the controls inside the boat.
The forecast says it will be a different day on the water tomorrow, but day one of the centennial celebration ended much as it began, with a bang. Day 2 for the Classics, with more wind and more clouds, the final day of racing came to a close. Some were just happy getting to the dance.
Sachet was pretty much a display boat. It wasn't really a boat that had sailed for much in the last 25, 30 years. So I spent a couple of months or so reinforcing everything on it, backing plates and fender washers and glue and paste and anything I can do to make the boat so I thought the boat would be sturdy. And it turned out the boat sailed fine.
Today on the water, a battle in the Woodies division.
Oh, it was a great day. Yeah, good breeze, pretty competitive race today actually. There were 3 of us that jumped out, and Keith Donald, he and I were tied for second, and we kind of battled all day until the very end, and we kind of caught a shift the last leg. But he was leading the first triangle, and then we actually caught him the last downwind leg.
And that kind of finish for a boat that hadn't seen water in 12 years. In the Classic division, teamwork was the key.
A very good first race. We were first, wind was up, good start, and we held the lead for the whole race.
You got to be ready for everything, including the right gear, the right body positions. You can either be hiking or cramped up sitting down below. You got to hike the lure, you got to hike the weather.
As the oldies come off the water, attention turns to the modern division and the future of the Star Class. 78 boats moving in, among them some of the best competitors in the world.
Well, I think the beauty of the Star Class is that you've been sailing against these guys before, and so you kind of know them, and it's great to sail against some of the best in the world, but it's, they're kind of friends, not intimidating competitors.
Well, we've got Mark Reynolds sailing tomorrow. John McCausland's also here, Colin Bieshel, so we've got top competitors in the class that we'll be going up against tomorrow. It'll be a much different ball game for me, that's for sure.
Don't forget about Bill and Carl Buchan. Each one of them having won a gold medal and a world's championship.
It'll be fun.
The fun on the water begins tomorrow for the modern stars. Until then, there are more friends to see, more stories to share, and more moments to celebrate. It is a spectacular morning here on Long Island Sound, a fitting tribute to the first 100 years of Star Class sailing. Also a beautiful beginning for Century 2. On the water today, Reynolds, McCausland, Bieshel, and Von Schwartz, some top names in Star Class sailing. But would they be at the top of their game without Bill Buchan?
Starboats have been a huge part of his life, and kind of like he alluded to, not just racing them, but building them, designing boats that other people have built sails for a while, and he's been involved in the class on the technical committee and class officer, I think, probably, and stuff. So certainly he's, gotten a lot from the Star and given a lot to it as well.
At 13 years old, he and his dad built the first Star that Bill ever raced. Though extremely humble, it's been a rewarding lifetime passion.
My strength, whatever, was largely because I think I was a little bit ahead of my time in creating a faster boat. People would look at my boat and say, well, that's a piece of crap. But if they looked at the keel, they looked at the rig, it was perfect.
2 Olympic golds, multiple world and national championships, success for the Buchan family spans generations.
I think we're the only father-son that won gold medals in 2 different disciplines in the history of the Olympic Games. I've heard that,
Right, so we're the answer to a trivia question.
The Buchans and others are in the water today, some for sentimental reasons, but don't underestimate the competitive spirit of a Star racer. Olympic hopeful Mark Struby says, a lot of good guys in the Star class, but it is physical.
It definitely requires some stamina. If you look at the guys this year, the guys that are doing really well, Robert Scheidt's probably one of the best athletes that is in the Star class right now, and when you watch him go upwind, his shoulders are below his hips, a majority of the upwind beat, and he's dominating over there, and it's just kind of showing, just how physical the boat is.
Early starts under the black flag in race 2 sent 10 boats back to the dock this afternoon. Those early starts and wind shifts both played a part in today's final results. The Centennial Celebration continues tomorrow for day 2 of Modern Star Racing. Teams from the United States and 10 other countries sailing this weekend to celebrate the history of the Star class and to launch the 2nd century of racing. Today, steep chop made the first race interesting. Wind from the east-southeast, 10 to 20 miles per hour, kept some boats off the water, sent some back early, and caused damage to more than one mast. Competition thrived, though, even as the wind diminished in race 2. Mark Reynolds and Hal Hanel are racing this weekend, 2 names in Star class synonymous with winning. Add to that Mendelblatt, Ornios, and Smith.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to be able to hang with the kids and have them get a little excited about sailing, because it was the same way when I was their age and I was hanging around Dennis Conner and Malin Burnham, Lowell North, those guys. And so it's great to see some of these young kids coming up. Tomas Hornos is one of them that's sailing here that is doing really well. He was quite a bit faster than we were today. I think I was able to get a little wind shift and stay ahead of him, but it's not easy.
Celebrating the Star, it's fast, it's physical, and once you sail it, you are hooked.
See, in this regatta, Mark Mendelblatt is dominating, and he is the best in the United States. He's currently winning our Olympic trials. But these guys, he came from the Laser, and it takes a while. You don't usually jump in and win your first regatta. I was talking to Bobby Lippincott last night. He's 3rd generation Star sailor, and he got in the Star, and he's like, no more 420s for me. I'm going starboat sailing.
So what if the design is 100 years old?
A lot of people look at it, well, it's a 100-year-old boat. How cool can something be that's 100 years old? But it's evolved over time, and it's obviously a breakthrough design, and it's great. But you really have to get out and sail and race against these guys to realize that, wow, there's something here that is pretty cool.
And it's not just the boat and bloodline at the heart of a champion. That comes from within.
And to have that drive, hating to lose. I probably don't, I obviously enjoy winning, but hating losing probably drives me more than loving winning.
Choppy conditions may again play a role in the water tomorrow and earlier day on the water. Of course, offshore competition gives way to onshore camaraderie. Game faces are gone until tomorrow's gun. Heading out for Day 5, the final racing day of this Star Class Centennial celebration. Race time temperatures in the low 60s, broken clouds, and easterly wind about 18 knots. To say it was an interesting day on the water, an understatement. Of the 80 boats registered for the Centennial celebration, only 49 finished Race 5. Waves, choppy and steep, some topping out about 5 feet, made for a true test of strength, agility, and skill today. It was tough for all sailors. Some, though, used it as a training ground.
Today was windy, big waves, really big waves, and really perfect conditions really for us because in Perth it's supposed to be windy too and big waves, so we're training for that.
Mark Mendelblatt and Brian Fati, the top Olympic hopefuls for 2012, went into today's race way out front on the leaderboard. Sure, they had fun out there today, but their main focus, minimize mistakes.
There's always frustrations, even when you're winning races, you're still making mistakes, so we're trying to get better, so we're definitely being hard on ourselves, but it was fun at times.
For some of these sailors, these weather conditions were the most ominous they have or will ever sail. For some, though, it was just a big playground on the water. More than one boat battled to stay on the water with broken masts, snapped riggings, and even a death roll by Team Bainton and Rogers. That is what brings people to the Star. More than once this week we've heard it's a physical boat, but it doesn't matter what age or what level you sail, the Star is fun in the water.
It's an exciting boat. It's got a lot of history. There's a lot of top level sailors in it, but you can compete at any level. You can compete in a fleet level, you can compete on a higher level, whatever you feel comfortable with.
A lot of these guys will never do an Olympic campaign that are here, and they're just going to keep sailing.
It's physical, but there's a lot of technique involved, which makes it easier to sail if you have good technique. But for sure, strength is really important, and being agile as well, and able to move back and forth and front and back is really important for the crews. And just being able to hike hard is important for the crews and the skippers.
With much ceremony and tribute to not only the Star, but also the Star sailor, race organizers gave the gun to each team crossing the line in Race 6. While Mendelblatt and Fati took home overall top honors, it was an incredible end to festivities for everyone here on Long Island Sound. A celebration of the Star Class, 100 years and sailing strong.